Hello, everyone. This is the Cohn Zone. I'm Grant Cohn. That's my dad, Lowell Cohn. I'm back from Lake Tahoe. We both watched, all of us watched the conference with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch yesterday, where they explained why they made the trade and what they are going to do with Jimmy Garoppolo. We're going to talk about that. But first, we need to take credit for the press conference, Dad, because they had it because we said that it was a weak move for them not to have it, right?
Well, listen, that's what I believe. Now, a lot of people on my Twitter said that we were full of baloney, and they also said that I, not you, have an inflated ego and an inflated sense of my importance. But I can tell you, Iggy, they had that press conference because we shamed them into it. And we said that what were they hiding? They looked very weak and cowardly. And, you know, I have to say, and I don't boast a lot, I have had that effect on organizations and coaches over the last 40 years. So I know how it works and I know what it feels like. So I want to praise them. They did the right thing.
Right. My question was going to be, we said it was a weak move not to do it. Did it seem like a strong move? Like did they seem confident in whatever plan that they're going to execute?
First of all, I give them all the credit in the world for coming out and talking, and they really had something to talk about.
Yeah.
And now, did they answer forthrightly? 60%.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I give this 60%. And here's the thing, and I don't fault them for that. You know, they're not going to come out and say, you know, the fact of the matter is we have no confidence in Jimmy anymore, and we're going to get this new quarterback that we're going to find out about in the draft. They'd be insane to say that, and it would be rude. So they said Jimmy is still our starter. We really think highly of Jimmy. I like that. You know, we like Jimmy,
the person.
Baloney.
Yeah.
It's a good person. We know the person, and
you
know, Iggy. They, as far as I understand it, they gave up 3 first-round draft choices to move up 9 spots,
and a 3rd-round pick next year,
and a 3rd. That is a out and out show of lack of confidence in Jimmy. You don't give up all of that to get a guy to be like Aaron Rodgers and sit on the bench and learn from Brett Favre. Yes. This guy is an immediate threat to Jimmy and may already be over him in the unofficial depth chart. So when they say we really like Jimmy and we had to move on it, they moved on it because they really don't like Jimmy. Can we agree on that?
Well, let's get to our next topic. They gave an explanation for why they're keeping Jimmy. Did you understand it and do you buy it?
What was the explanation?
Okay, they said that they would have been open to getting rid of Jimmy earlier, but they just did so great in free agency and brought back so many of their own guys that they're now better than they expected to be. And they got to have a veteran quarterback just in case because they're so good. That was part of what they said, right?
Okay, they do need a veteran quarterback. They absolutely do. Whether it should be Jimmy, I got a lot of doubts about that, Iggy, and I know you do too. But let's say they believe Jimmy can be okay for a while. I disagree with them, but at least it's reasoning. There's reasoning there. Am I allowed to say what I think they really should do, or are we waiting on that?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. They're saying, as far as I understood it, because remember, they were talking all around it. And, you know, it's interesting. Shanahan never uses anyone's name. Ever. But Lynch knows everybody's name.
Man.
It is so. Did he take a course so you make sure to use everybody's name? I mean, I appreciate it, but it's so different how they are. So okay. They're saying that Jimmy is the starter. Okay, he's the starter, but they're going to bring in Mr. X, and Mr. X is because if Jimmy gets hurt, or a year from now, or a decade from now, after Jimmy wins 7 Super Bowls, maybe this guy will play. Come on.
Yeah.
Here's what they should do. They should not say Jimmy is the starter because he hasn't earned it. In fact, he's flopped. Some of it is not his fault. He got hurt, but being hurt is bad. You got to be able to play. If I were coaching that team, I would bring him into the room and say, look, it's an open competition. And I would announce it to the media. It's an open competition. Let Jimmy know what it feels like not to have it gifted to him. It's an open competition. And in training camp, you're going to split reps 50-50. And we'll make a decision after the preseason games, after all these, practices. We'll say who the starting quarterback is and let Jimmy know what that feels like and let the kid know what it feels like. Do you agree with that?
I do. I want to talk about the quarterback competition in a minute. But the idea that the Niners traded all these picks for a quarterback that they're going to sit on the bench for a year, that's not going to happen. I mean, I could understand that they might feel like, maybe he may not be ready week one. Maybe he just won't be ready week one. Fine. Let him sit for a month, maybe two. But he can't sit the whole rookie year. That's ridiculous. You just traded half a decade's worth of picks. He has to play.
Iggy, he does have to play unless, I'm being serious now, unless Jimmy turns into something like Mahomes.
Sure.
Unless Jimmy is undefeated. I mean, we don't know what the future is. Maybe Jimmy will get a bee in his bonnet. He'll all of a sudden become as keen as Steve Young was, okay? Yeah. Or Joe Montana was. And all of a sudden he'll be undefeated, and then he's earned it. So I say that's a possibility, a 15% possibility, but it's a possibility. So they've brought this guy in to take over if Jimmy is not good enough or gets hurt. But I think it's fair for Jimmy to have an opportunity if he's doing well.
Okay, then let's talk about this quarterback competition then. Do you think it's legit when they say they want both guys to compete, the rookie and Jimmy Garoppolo? And do you think this is do you think this is going to lead to the best outcome for both of these guys?
But it's not what they said. They said Jimmy's the starter. They didn't say they're going to compete.
They said that. Did he not say he's going to compete? I thought he did say he was going to compete.
Iggy, I listened to it and I kept hearing that Jimmy's the starter.
Yeah.
And I think that's disingenuous. He's not the starter anymore.
Yeah.
The better one is the starter. That's how I heard it.
Yeah.
And I want to say something else. You had a very interesting interview with Mora Jr. And, he comes across, I never really knew him when he was with the Niners. Ira did. He comes across as a very nice man. And he said if they decide before training camp is over, I guess, that the rookie is the starter, it would be unfair to Jimmy to keep him. I disagree with Mora. Again, I think he's coming from the right place, and he seems like a nice man. There's no unfair or fair. If the other guy beats him out, that's tough. And you might need Jimmy. You might, Jimmy, this guy beat you out, but we want you on the team to back him up. That's not unfair. That's how it goes.
Yeah. I see that too. I hope there is a real quarterback competition because, look, Jimmy never earned the job ever. He's never earned anything in the NFL. And the Niners sort of enabled that. They created that situation. They gave him the big contract after 5 games. If they could repeat that now by get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo today and then handing the job to a 21-year-old and saying, you're the franchise, you're great because we say so. It's the same. It's repeating history.
I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be in favor of it. I would be in favor of either keeping Jimmy or getting rid of him. It wouldn't matter to me, and getting a bridge quarterback. Because I think there are certain bridge quarterbacks in the league who are as good as Jimmy. Like, for example, if Alex Smith, if they want him, he's better than Jimmy right now. Iggy.
Yes, I agree.
Is Andy Dalton still free?
No, he signed with the Bears. He's their starter now.
Okay. So, I mean, there may be other ones. Alex Smith comes to mind. But Jimmy would be okay. If they can afford him, he would be okay. And as I say, he might turn out to be terrific. Now, you see, they never gave him any competition.
Right.
CJ Beathard and Nick is a very good quarterback, but he wasn't competition for him. Now he has competition. And my attitude is, how do you stand up to competition? Do you want to win? Do you have the courage to fight? How much does it mean to you? How good are you? A real athlete, i.e. Steve Young, would want this competition, wouldn't say, oh, God, my feelings are hurt. How could you do this to me? I thought you loved me. He would say, I'm going to kick butt.
Yeah,
that's what a real competitor would do.
And I think the Niners want to see that not that Jimmy Garoppolo is really the topic anymore. He's kind of becoming history. But if Jimmy Garoppolo could actually rise to the occasion and show some competitive fire, that would be great.
He might win the job.
He might just win the job.
Iggy, you're willing to say he's history more than I am.
Okay.
I'm saying it's a two-man competition.
Yes.
Now, if they've pre-decided that Jimmy lost his competition, it's foolish because they haven't stepped onto the field yet.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, that's how I would handle it. I'd say, here's 2 balls. Let's see you go.
Yeah, and 50-50 reps, not like Jimmy gets to play with the first team and the rookie gets to play with the second team. That would be
50-50.
50-50.
We're serving notice on you, Jimmy. This guy gets 50% of the reps with the first team.
Right, because it's already understood that he's going to be the future of the franchise. That's why we got him. Now we want to see if he's the present as well.
That's right. We want to know who is the quarterback in 2021. That's what we're dealing with. They want to win a Super Bowl this year. Let's not even think about the next season. This season, we want to win the Super Bowl. Can you do it, Jimmy? Mr. X thinks he can do it. Let's see what happens. Yeah. I mean, I feel that kind of competition only helps the team. And
also,
finally, Iggy, if Jimmy crumbles under that, get rid of him.
You and I on this show a lot have asked about Jimmy Garoppolo's passion for football. Does he want to play? How much does he care about it? This is going to be a good test. They're running you out of town, Jimmy Garoppolo. They're drafting your successor, and they're not just taking a guy because he fell to them. They're going up to get him. They're mortgaging the future because they don't believe in you. What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? And they're putting it in your face. They're putting. Yeah. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to be a competitor? Are you going to beat this guy out? Because the team would love that.
Got a question. Shanahan is 0-2 in Super Bowls with pocket passers. I think he realizes that mobile quarterbacks are on the rise and hard to defend. Maybe it's Fields or Lance. I know you don't really know who these quarterbacks are. Do you think, real quick, in a big picture sense, do you think Kyle Shanahan has type of reflection and evolution where he looks at his losses and honestly reflects on what he thinks is important for his offense and changes? Actually, I need a mobile quarterback now.
No, I don't. And I think I think there are many things that are praiseworthy about Kyle Shanahan as a head coach, but a reflection and being honest with himself are not among his strong points. I think with the 2 Super Bowls he's lost, he's made every excuse in the book. The sun was in my eyes. It was the wrong phase of the moon.
Guys were open.
Yeah, guys were open. I was great. The players weren't great. So, no, I don't feel that he's strong at that at all. And I think, you know what? If he doesn't really become an elite coach, let me try that again. If he doesn't win multiple Super Bowls, one of the reasons will be that he's not an honest guy with himself. He can't grow.
Yeah. As Last Second Sports, Jesse Naylor points out, Shanahan said he didn't have a type, then proceeded to talk about his love for Kirk Cousins. He really couldn't stop talking about Kirk Cousins at this press conference. You notice he said, the thing about Kirk Cousins is he really is a hell of a quarterback. I mean, anyone would be lucky to have a quarterback like this. And Kyle, stop it with the Kirk Cousins thing. Did you hear that part?
I certainly did. And Iggy, do you think as highly of Kirk Cousins as he does?
No one Kirk Cousins doesn't think as highly of Kirk Cousins as Kyle Shanahan does. I don't get that. I don't get it.
Even Kirk Cousins doesn't.
But I gotta say, the best part about this trade for the number 3 pick is it virtually ensures that Kirk Cousins will never play for the 49ers. So I think that's a good thing.
Okay. Could I say something?
Yeah, of course.
They said that Jimmy didn't like it. What they say when they told him the news? How'd they phrase it?
They said he was pissed.
He was pissed, and they said pissed, right?
It's good. But that's good. He's better. He plays better when he's mad. I've never seen Jimmy Garoppolo mad, ever.
Yeah. So, okay, let's try to be in his brain for a minute. What is he pissed about?
Jimmy Garoppolo being scapegoated for the 49ers' problems. From his perspective, they blamed him for losing the Super Bowl. They blamed him for getting hurt. They gave him a terrible offensive line. All he does when he plays is win. And somehow, even when he wins, it's the defense, the running game, and the coaching. And when they lose, it's all his fault, even though he doesn't lose that much. That's probably where he would come from. Okay,
let's go a little more with this. And why are they bringing somebody else in? What do we need to? I'm really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm really good.
I'm offended. They offended me.
So, which leads us to the question: do you feel sorry for Jimmy Garoppolo now that we can see things from his perspective?
Yeah, I'm offended, and they're scapegoating me. So do Grant and Lowell feel sorry for Jimmy? My answer is hell no. How about you?
No, hell no. Hell no. Sorry, everyone has to go through a period like this in your life where your employer doesn't respect you or you feel like you're worthless. And what are you going to do about it? Are you going to cry and just give up and be like, I would have been great, but the Niners just didn't give me a chance. And so I'm just going to tell my grandkids that I was going to be a great quarterback. It just didn't happen for me. It's the Niners' fault. Or are you going to see that, your career's on life support, you're walking in the graveyard, you're going to do something about it and see if he died. It's a defining moment for him. I remember being 29. It's not easy, dude. What are you going to do about it?
Yes, it's a defining moment, not only in his career, but in his life.
In his life, yeah. He's either going to be the great quarterback who people doubted and he proved them wrong, or the guy who was, people thought he was going to be better than he was, and there were reasons why he didn't live up to expectations, and he'll have his excuses.
Okay, I'll tell you some other reasons I don't feel sorry for him. He's really rich.
Yeah, for stuff he didn't really accomplish.
Yeah.
He was giving money for what he was supposed to be able to do, and then he didn't do it.
That's right. But, let's talk about how rich he is. How much money approximately has he earned from the 49ers?
About $90 million.
Okay.
A little more.
So this guy has earned $90 million. And he's won how many games? 29?
29, something. Yeah.
Let's call it 30.
Yeah.
So if divides, I'm not good at 30 into 90 million.
Like $3 million a win.
How much does he get? Huh?
$3 million to start. Yeah.
No,
$3 million to win. $3 million to win. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. So if he washes out of the Niners and even washes out of the league, which I don't think he would, he could buy a lot of houses, get it.
Wait, hold on, Dad. It's worse. He's 22. Hold on. He's 22-8 with the Niners. It's worse. 22 wins.
Okay, could you do 90 million divided by 22?
And here's the thing too. 5 of those wins came in 2017 before they gave him the contract. So we're really talking 17 wins since they paid him $90 million. So I can't do the math, but that's almost
maybe 1 in the
people. It's like $4.5 million a win, I think.
Wow. But those were good wins.
Good wins. Flashy wins.
So anyway, he's set for life. Whenever he gets married and has children, they'll be set for life, right?
Yeah, right. And then those kids will be as well.
Yeah. So
yeah,
he's handsome. He's a nice guy, from what I understand. So no, a lot of people's dreams don't come true.
Yeah,
and that's a learning experience too.
And who knows what his dreams really are? Maybe just being in the NFL and making $100 million was the dream. Not everyone is obsessed with being the greatest of all time, the way Tom Brady is. Some people just want to be there. And he's there. He was there.
Okay. I got a question for you.
Sure.
Grant boy.
Sure.
Now they've essentially shown that Jimmy is in a competition at the very best, or they're planning to get rid of him rather quick. And they have this other guy coming in, whoever he is. How confident are you? Let's just talk about Kyle Shanahan, that Kyle Shanahan can make this quarterback thing work.
That's a great question. Because yesterday it felt like a celebration, right? Like they'd won something.
Absolutely. They won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl. Guys, I know we had some issues and we're going to get the quarterback. Everything's going to be fine. And we're so excited, and we'll tell you who it is in a few. Here's the thing. It's the same group that picked Solomon Thomas. It's the same group that didn't want Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson 4 years ago. The same group that didn't want Tom Brady. The same group that traded up for C.J. Beathard. There's definite reason to be skeptical, to not just assume they're going to knock this one out. And also, Dad, you haven't watched a lot of these quarterbacks, but I'll give you like the Cliff Notes version real quick of this class. The top pick is this kid, Trevor Lawrence. He's like Andrew Luck. He's like a no-doubter. Everyone else, the Niners could get Zach Wilson. He's a kid who had one great year at BYU. That's his resume. One great year at BYU. They could get Justin Fields, an Ohio State quarterback. Ohio State has never produced a good NFL quarterback. They could get Mac Jones from Alabama. Alabama hasn't produced a good NFL quarterback since like freaking Joe Namath. Or they could get Trey Lance, who played at North Dakota State, which is 1AA football. He threw 280 passes in college. Those are their options. So it's possible that none of these guys are going to be the answer. And as to your point earlier, it's possible that Jimmy Garoppolo could beat him out.
I think we need the future. The future is open for the rookie and for Jimmy. And so my feeling is sometimes really important draft choices at quarterback don't work out. Guys you
Yeah.
think can't miss, and they don't work out. And some guys you never heard of, i.e., really Tom Brady or Joe Montana, you heard of them, but they were not sought after.
Yes.
And they become among the greatest quarterbacks who ever lived. So there's a lot of risk in this that you can't even maybe hold the Niners accountable for. Plus, I've never seen Kyle develop a quarterback.
Ever.
He's never developed a quarterback.
No.
So I would say, you said skeptical. I would say I am moderately confident that they can make this work out. Moderate, C.
I mean, think about it from Miami's perspective. Miami just got 3 first-round picks and a third because the Niners think they're going to get some great quarterback at number 3, that the third best quarterback in this draft is going to be special on their team. Miami disagreed. They could use a quarterback. I mean, they got a guy last year, Tua, who looked like a backup, and they were, we'll stick with Tua. So I think Miami's feeling pretty good today. The Niners really have to get a Hall of Fame quarterback or close. Otherwise, they're going to end up feeling like 3 first-round picks for that guy. Yikes.
Well, again, it's all open in the future.
Yeah.
And we can't predict the future. But I'm saying, based on how chancy it is to really draft a good quarterback, no matter where you draft, and Kyle's history of not developing quarterbacks, I say I'm moderately confident in them. Moderately.
Okay, I have a bonus question for you. I didn't write it in, but I don't know if you saw it with Jim Mora yesterday. His theory is that the consensus number 2 quarterback, Zach Wilson, is going to fall to the Niners. And the reason the Niners traded up is because Kyle and Robert Saleh probably had a discussion. And Saleh wouldn't lie to Kyle since he owes so much to Kyle. And he probably, without telling him everything the Jets are going to do, told him, look, if you want this guy, we're not going to take him, go for it. And the Niners know something. For a coach to say that, he's like, look, a lot of these conversations never get out there. Did you find that intriguing or possible?
I do not find it plausible.
Why?
I do not find it plausible. Why would Saleh offer a competitor their strategy? Plus, Saleh isn't making the decisions over there.
It's true. It's true. He's not.
He's not making the decisions. No, I think Mora was being overcomplicated. I think the Niners believe that any of what they list as the top 3 quarterbacks would be good for them. That's how I read it.
Yeah, well, the way I look at it is if they traded up and didn't get that assurance from the Jets and they're going to take the kid from Alabama or the kid from Ohio State or the kid from North Dakota State, they're in trouble. Those guys have big-time question marks, and the Niners traded 3 first-round picks to get him. Already, they're in a bad spot. They better hope this kid from BYU drops because he looks like he might be a little bit better than those 3. But that would be like really, really big gamble for people that people are pretty split on. It seems like the league is pretty split on these guys.
I want to say one other thing, Iggy.
Yeah.
If the Niners wanted the number 2 spot, they would have gone for the number 2 spot.
Right. Yeah.
Because then it would eliminate chance.
Yes.
They went for the number 3 spot.
Yes.
They could have talked to the Jets.
That's true.
The Jets would have been interested in all those picks.
Yeah. It's true.
They need those picks.
Yeah.
So, no. I respectfully disagree with Jim Mora.
Waruna says if Jimmy can't beat the rookie, if Jimmy can't beat out the rookie who's worth 3 first-round picks, the coach and GM must retire because they wasted such valuable resources. There's a lot of pressure on this kid to play, Dad. There's so much pressure on this kid to play. They say they want to have a competition. They would benefit from the competition. But, geez, imagine me like telling the people, hey, the kid's just not good. Sorry, we thought he'd be good. He's not good. We traded.
They would never say that. They would say he's not ready.
Not ready.
He's still,
and Jimmy's so good.
It's the jump from college to the pro game is really enormous. And, the playbook is hard. He needs some time. And what's more, there may be some truth to it.
Of course, yes.
But I understand this point. If this kid can't beat out Jimmy in training camp, one interpretation is it makes these guys, Kyle and Lynch, look really stupid.
Yeah, it's like, did you know who you were trading up for? I mean, quite an investment. How well did you know this kid to bring him into training camp and be surprised by his performance. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but there is a lot of pressure on this kid to beat out Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh. And I understand, and pressure on Shanahan.
Pressure on Shanahan, yes. Because once again, it's Shanahan saying, I can see the future. This is the right move. I'm the smartest person here. This is going to work out. And that's when he's at his best, in my opinion.
You know, it's interesting. Shanahan blew it in the Super Bowl and had a miserable season last year. He never seems humble about it. He never seems like, I need to do better. I need to do better. It's like everything's okay by me. I've never had a moment like that in my whole life.
I also feel that this whole saga reveals how Shanahan truly feels about that Super Bowl loss from a couple of years ago. Jimmy's fault.
Jimmy's fault.
Jimmy's fault. Period. That's the whole explanation. And Jimmy has some culpability, but if Kyle Shanahan just thinks that way, there's a reason why he doesn't evolve. Jimmy's fault.
You know, I want to say one other thing. You always say, you know, look, my dad doesn't know anything about these college quarterbacks, and I don't. All my years as a sports columnist, I paid very little attention to college sports. Of course, I had to cover things at Cal and Stanford, and I did, but it was always very secondary to me to pro sports. I grew up in New York. I was in love with pro sports. The teams in New York City were not that important, the college teams. I've just never been that into it. Plus, I think that college sports are fundamentally corrupt, much more corrupt than pro sports. So for me, on the Niners and when the Raiders were around, I only began to think about the quarterback or whoever it was when they were on the team. And a lot of times I didn't even know what college they went to. I didn't care. It didn't matter. I mean, I know Ronnie Lott went to USC because he used to talk about it, but it had no meaning to me that he went to USC. He was on the 49ers.
Right. That's exactly how I feel, except for when the UCLA men's basketball is in the Elite Eight. As they are right now. Yes. I'm a big fan of it. Yes. Mazel tov. Means a lot to me. Appreciate it.
I want to talk more about this quarterback stuff.
Let's talk about it.
They theoretically will get a third quarterback.
Yes.
Okay. This third quarterback, I don't think gets any reps. Who needs it?
Yeah, you'd be like Josh Rosen. Hey, Josh, you get one throw today. Good throw, Josh.
Yeah. If you want to throw, wait till after practice. We'll give you one of the equipment guys. You could throw to him. I'm sorry, Josh.
No, I think you're right. Especially if there's no spring mini camp or OTAs. There's just no time. We got 3 weeks, dude. Sorry. Yeah, you're on the wrong team.
You're on the wrong team. We got, you know, Mr. Beautiful, and which is the rookie, whoever he is, and we got Jimmy. We don't have time for you. This is not a remedial class.
No. Let's stick with the quarterbacks. Raymond says, let's be honest. Jimmy still struggles diagnosing plays, and it blows Kyle's mind. I think Mac Jones is Kyle's guy. Let's put it this way. You got two quarterbacks the Niners could take: Mac Jones, Justin Fields. Mac Jones is the non-athlete pocket passer from Alabama, who is good at like anticipating, reading defense, all the little intangible quarterback stuff, but he can't move. He's not big. Then you got Justin Fields, who's super big, strong arm, really fast, but also can struggle diagnosing plays and turn the ball over a little bit. Decision-making can be an issue. Which kind of quarterback do you think Kyle Shanahan would want?
Another one. The third one.
The third one.
I don't like what you told me I don't like.
See, that's why I think he heard something from Saleh, because there's no way you trade up for the non-athlete guy or the guy who can't make a good decision to save his life. I mean, both of them have big question marks. How is that playing?
Okay. So you're thinking they're going to get the second pick?
They gotta end up with Zach Wilson somehow. If they end up with Mac Jones or Justin Fields, they're all going to get fired in a few years. Maybe Mac Wilson too.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on here. I think we have an outstanding bet, but we both forgot what it is.
No. Someone tell you it was the Jimmy Garoppolo getting traded back to the Patriots. I said if he's going to go back to the Patriots, you said no. So that's what that's about.
So but I think we ought to make another bet here.
Okay, let's make another bet.
Okay, so we have the Patriots and a $50 bottle of Oregon Pinot.
Oregon Pinot.
Now, what's this one here we're just talking about? Or did we forget it already?
What the kind of quarterback Kyle Shanahan's going to? Oh, Zach Wilson.
Up to the second
Zach Wilson.
Pick.
Yes.
Are they going to move up to the second pick?
Okay.
Is Saleh, out of the kindness of his heart, going to somehow arrange that they have the second pick? I'll say no No how, no way. And
Okay,
you're
I
saying,
say are going to have a pick swap during the draft, but it's not going to be out of the kindness of their heart. It's because the Jets stink and they have no infrastructure for a quarterback to succeed, which is why they feel Sam Darnold stunk. And they feel that even if they were to get Zach Wilson, that he would fail there too because they're so bad. So they're going to get a weapon.
Okay. So I'm saying Jimmy does not go back to New England, and I'm saying they don't get the second pick from the Jets. What are we betting on that?
Okay, well, this time let's bet. Let's go French.
Oh,
let's go French.
You name it.
How about we go Burgundy?
Burgundy.
Nice Burgundy from Kermit.
Okay, a $50 bottle of Burgundy.
Okay,
Red Burgundy.
Red Burgundy.
Okay, and what are you betting?
That they're going to get Zach Wilson because Jim Moore Jr. said so.
That they're going to get the second pick.
Okay, so if the Jets just don't take a quarterback at number 2 and Zach Wilson falls to the Niners at number 3, I don't win?
I got it. They could have been that too. They could have said,
"We're
telling you." Okay,
I can do that.
So we're betting Zach Wilson or no Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson or no Zach Wilson. You're saying no Zach Wilson.
I'm saying no Zach Wilson.
I'm saying pro Zach. I'm pro Zach. You're con Zach.
You're on Prozac.
And when we forget this next week, all you guys have to remind us because that's your job in the comment section.
And you're saying that Jimmy goes back to New England.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I see that look in your face.
Please remember, because I could write it down, but I don't want to. Can we?
Wasn't there a report that the Niners brought this offer to the Jets and they refused to move off the second pick?
You would.
I don't know. It's possible the Jets didn't want to move down to 12. Maybe they'd be okay moving down to number 3. That's a different story. That's a horse of a different color, Dad. What?
That's the horse of a different color I heard tell of.
Yes.
Okay, I got a question for you. Is there a quarterback in this draft as good as Mahomes?
No. Nope. Unfortunately. No, everyone's comparing Zach Wilson to him, which just means Zach Wilson's going to let people down. He's not that good.
Okay.
Mahomes is special.
Is there a quarterback in this draft as good as Russell?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Is there a quarterback in this draft as good as Matthew Stafford?
Yes, the number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence, is going to be better than Matthew Stafford. Otherwise, other than that, God beats me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So even if the Niners were to get Justin Fields or Zach Wilson or Mac Jones, where do they still stand in the NFC West? Right there with the Rams, maybe? Maybe not. Scott says, hold on. We already got you, Scott. Thomas says, Jimmy's worth a 3rd-round pick now. Is he more likely to ball out and get them one of those first-round picks back or flame out and get them nothing? Oh, that's a good question. If he's worth a 3rd now, I think he's more likely to increase or decrease his value over time with the 49ers.
I don't know the answer. I think the answer is in Jimmy.
The answer is inside
Jimmy. It's inside Jimmy. And Thomas, that's what makes what's coming up very interesting. I believe he will be on the team at the start of training camp. Of course, I could be wrong. I'm not talking to anybody there, but I believe he will be on the team. And so much depends on who Jimmy is. How much, Iggy, one of the things we learned, you and I have both learned in life, talent counts for a lot.
It does.
Perseverance counts equally.
Yes. We don't know if he has it.
Fire, perseverance, courage.
Yeah.
They are equal to talent. Yes. They really, really, really count. And there are a lot of times in your career, Iggy, that you could have been down for the count.
Oh, yeah. I got knocked down about 100 times.
Down for the count. And there was nothing I could do for you.
No.
And you picked yourself up and you persevered and you believed in yourself. And does Jimmy have it?
And what's so interesting about it is no one knows. Jimmy may not even know. He's never been in a situation like this in his life, and he's going to learn about himself. Maybe he does have it.
Well, he better have it. He better have it. Otherwise, he's going to be a very disappointed young man.
Jesse says, trade Jimmy G and the number 3 pick to the Patriots for Cam Newton. That's a funny joke. I like that. He spent $5 to make it too. Appreciate it, Jesse. Hold on. We got a big $20 one. Just a second. Maurice says, yeah, I think you guys are believing that the 49ers have a Bengals roster. It's not who these quarterbacks are now. It's what team they go to. The Ravens and the Bills had better roster than Arizona and the Jets. He's saying that these quarterbacks are going to succeed because the Niners are so good.
Oh, no. There comes a time in an important game where the quarterback has to perform. I covered thousands of games.
Mhm.
There comes a time, maybe not thousands because it's a short season. I covered a lot of games where the quarterback has to do it. Can you do it? Do you have the courage? Do you have the ability? The other 10 don't do it for you. That's why he's holding the ball. That's why he has the ball. So I respectfully disagree with that. And, one thing Kyle said yesterday, I thought wistfully, that there are only a certain amount of quarterbacks who can win the game on their own. Right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we know who they are or who they were. He clearly means he doesn't have one now.
Yes.
And he means he wants one. We'll see if he gets one.
How many has he passed on? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he made the situation for himself.
That's a really good point. He could have had two quarterbacks that would win on their own. And he said, nah, I don't think so. I don't want that one. How many more is God going to give him?
Also, Maurice says, like, the 49ers are such a quarterback-friendly place because the system is good and the weapons are good. Well, then why is Jimmy Garoppolo failing? Why did Beathard fail? Why did Hoyer fail? I mean, maybe it's not that simple. Maybe it's not the most quarterback-friendly place.
Or maybe you need a good quarterback. And when I say good, I mean excellent.
Yes, that's right.
Jimmy has shown he can be excellent sometimes. He's really excellent on third down, which is to his credit because that's the hardest down, 3rd and 10. And he does really well. And it makes me think that there's a fighter. There's a fighter in there. There are other things where you just look where he's horrible. And he's so horrible that he's unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about him, I think 2020 was so disconcerting because he didn't show any of the good things in 2020. He got hurt right away. Anything you like about Jimmy Garoppolo is a memory from 2 years ago. That's tough.
And Iggy, he may not be the same quarterback anymore.
No, he may not be. The accumulation of hits and injuries, maybe he's going to tap out. Maybe he doesn't have the perseverance. We keep coming back to that. I mean, I feel like Niner fans that we keep getting donations talking about Mac Jones and Trey Lance, and Niner fans are already on to the next guy because that's how it works. But we're still thinking about the loser here, Jimmy Garoppolo. He just became very interesting in our minds as a character.
As a character in a novel, he became very interesting because he's the one who is, I believe, suffering and has his whole self-image. Who am I? He has that at stake. And certain people like that, like to be in that situation. I sort of did. People doubt you and you say you want to spit in their eye. You want to spit in their eye. And I have felt
it brings
that
out the best in you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see if it brings out the best in Jimmy. This is going to be interesting.
Now, Iggy, I want to come back. The quarterback that you think that they're going to get, tell me his name again.
Zach Wilson from BYU.
Describe him to me, what he does.
Okay. When you watch his college highlight tape, he looks like Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. He throws the ball effortlessly. He can throw it rolling to the right, rolling to the left. He has a really quick release. He can throw it jumping up and down. He's a very natural athlete. He runs well. He throws well down the field. His highlight tape from last year is just 40-yard touchdown pass after 40-yard touchdown pass. But the thing is, he was playing at BYU, which is like, he doesn't play any good teams. His offensive line was good. And it's like, he's got all day to do whatever he wants to do. It looks like 7-on-7 football when he's playing. So, and then in 2019, he had no big deal of a year. In 2018, he had no big deal of a year. He just had a great year in 2020, and now people are comparing him to Aaron Rodgers. So
what's his body type?
He's 6'2", 215, a little small, a little frail, not particularly big, but I mean, he's about the same size as Aaron Rodgers, I would say. It's just that he didn't play in the Pac-12 or at any school where he faced a lot of NFL players. He played in this really small division, And Steve Young went to BYU and became a success at the age of 30, but they've never produced any other quarterback that meant that.
Jim McMahon went there too.
Jim McMahon, Ty Detmer. Since then they've had a lot of guys who are about 6'2" who put up great numbers in college and didn't translate to the pros. But he has all the athletic attributes that suggest he could be really good. He just doesn't have a resume.
Do you think he'd be good for the 49ers?
It's possible. But again, Kyle's never developed a quarterback. I don't know. I wouldn't have made this trade. I think to me, it feels like the Niners wanted Deshaun Watson. And they were willing to trade 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, which you understand because Watson, you know what Watson is. He's great. But now Watson's out of the question, at least for a while. And they were like, well, what's our plan now? Well, let's take these picks that we were going to trade to Watson for a rookie instead. Well, okay, you're not getting Trevor Lawrence. You're getting the 3rd best quarterback in the draft, and you think you like him, but there's some question marks there. It seems very almost feels a little desperate. Like, oh God.
That was my question. Does it feel like desperation?
It feels like desperation to me, yes.
If it's desperation, you never make a choice like that out of desperation. And if they're that desperate, again, it's another knock on Jimmy.
Yeah.
They're desperate to get out from under Jimmy.
Yes. If Kyle can put the training wheels on for Jimmy, he can with Wilson Fields and win 13 games and might make a deep run. Kyle is over Jimmy. You can see it. So people say, Kyle does so much for Jimmy with the Jimmy gimmies and the little passes and the easy stuff that if he can go that far with Jimmy, he can imagine what he could do with a rookie with a little more talent. Do you buy that?
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Because he really has worked hard around Jimmy Garoppolo's deficiencies.
But I would say, Iggy, I would say before we do this next question, that whoever was teaching quarterbacks at the Niners last season, they all regressed.
Yes,
Do they still have the same quarterbacks coach?
No, he's gone. They got Rich Scangarello back. He was the guy that had the first 2 years. Yeah. So they got him back. Good. Yeah.
So because every single one of them regressed, their fundamentals, their basics were not as good. But Scangarello good.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll have a positive effect on the rookie and Jimmy. Marie says Breeze and Rodgers have 2 Super Bowl appearances in NFC and they don't play Tom Brady. They don't play Big Ben. They don't play Peyton Manning. So what quarterbacks have they been losing to for the past 15 years? I don't know, Maurice. You got me there. You stumped me. Casey Cold says, maybe it's just me, but doesn't it seem like Kyle is the coach in the league that needs a specific quarterback to fit his system? Hope he's more open-minded. Be interesting to talk to. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
For someone who's supposed to be so flexible, I'm going to compare him to Bill Walsh. Mm-hmm. Kyle has a system and he needs to plug the quarterback into the system. Bill would say, who's my quarterback? What can I do to make him excel? Like he did with Joe. Joe didn't have the strongest downfield arm. And I know you feel this way too, Iggy. I'm not in love with system coaches.
Yeah, I think it's like the hubris of a young coach. I'm a hot shot. I've been a coordinator since I was 30. It's because of my scheme. I can't give up on that. I'm here in my position because of my scheme is so perfect. And once coaches get a little older or a little more wise, they realize that's not what's going to keep me employed. What's going to keep me employed is adapting to whatever I'm given.
With one exception, Gruden, he's never, even as he's gotten older, he's never gotten over being a system coach, nor does he have to. He makes $10 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah. So why would you evolve? If healthy, this roster makes the playoffs without Jimmy Garoppolo taking a snap. Jimmy isn't the only player that hasn't proved to be reliable. Bosa, Kittle, Mostert, O-line, DBs, etc.
He's the quarterback.
He's the quarterback.
The other guys aren't the quarterback.
Yeah. That's why they just traded 3 first-round picks to replace him. I mean, it's serious. Ah, Dad. Anything else you want to say about the quarterbacks before I go take a nap? I've been up since 4 a.m.
You have?
Yeah. I had a little work to do before I drove home. Tahoe.
From my point of view, we covered it. I think we did cover it.
I think we covered it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Okay. Well, I'll call you right now.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone.